Navjot Singh Sidhu, now the Pradesh Congress Committee chief in Punjab, is defiant. I will not apologize to Captain Amarinder Singh. And does he even need to now that he's got his condition fulfilled? We are getting these visuals from Amritsar. Remember, Navjot Singh Sidhu had promised that he's going to visit the Golden Temple in Amritsar. Navjot Singh Sidhu, one, is also the member of Legislative Assembly from Amritsar East constituency. Second, Golden Temple is one of the holiest shrines for the members of the Sikh community, to which Navjot Singh Sidhu belongs. So he's definitely attempting to reach out not only to his own constituents, but also sending a message about reaching out to God, expressing thankfulness to the God for having his condition fulfilled. What you see on the screen here, of course, thronged by supporters of his party, people who have stood by him all this while. Of course, many residents of Amritsar wanting to catch a glimpse of Navjot Singh Sidhu. This is a big achievement for Sidhu. Sidhu has managed to get the Congress High Command, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, approve of his condition to get him the chief position of Punjab Pradesh Congress Committee, just ahead of the state heading to elections, despite the fact that the Chief Minister of the state, Captain Amarinder Singh, repeatedly directly telling to Harish Rawat, the Punjab affairs in charge, telling even to Sonia Gandhi that he will not accept, at least will not want, Navjot Singh Sidhu to be made the PCC chief. He wanted an apology, so neither did his request, his demand of not making him PCC chief has been rejected. There's also now a defiant Navjot Singh Sidhu. Clearly, it appears to be stating no question of tendering an apology to Captain Amarinder. Apology for what? Remember, Ravneet Thukral, who's the media advisor and one of the close aides of Captain Amarinder Singh, yesterday had reacted and said that there is no public meeting taking place between Sidhu and Captain Amarinder till there's a public apology from Navjot Singh Sidhu. Apology for some allegedly derogatory tweets by Sidhu against the captain, and specifically in the past, all their reactions that have come back and forth between Amarinder and Sidhu. But Sidhu clearly knows now there is no need for an apology now that he is the PCC chief. What you're looking at on your screens now is a gathering of supporters for Navjot Singh Sidhu, but the question is, what happens to the Congress party as it heads for elections in the next few months? One of the few states in the country still ruled by the Congress party. The Chief Minister of the state, Captain Amarinder Singh, is a political veteran. And clearly the Congress party knows that captain as a face will also be important. But if there is a widening rift between the two, what you see on your screens is a defiant, confident Navjot Singh Sidhu having managed to get his condition approved. How will that rift now play out for Punjab, for the Congress party ahead of elections? Remember, the Shiromani Akali Dal is watching. The Aam Aadmi Party is watching. The BJP is clearly having its eyes right now on what's been happening between the war of Sardars. Will this widening rift that you see on your screens will be cashed in by these other parties to gain momentum into Punjab? Congress party till now had a face, Chief Minister Captain Amarinder Singh. Now there could likely be two faces, a political veteran, an elderly face, Captain Amarinder Singh, almost 80 years old. But there could also be a new face, a younger politician likely for future, as Harish Rawat had hinted, Navjot Singh Sidhu. On the ground is my colleague Manjeet Sehgal. Manjeet, hundreds of supporters for Navjot Singh Sidhu, who's now claiming he has the support of 62 MLAs as well. What we see on the screen, is he now the next Neta of the Congress party in the state of Punjab ahead of elections?
Well, Pooja, this is a virtual show of strength by the Navjot Singh Sidhu camp. He has claimed that 62 MLAs are with him. He was meeting these MLAs from the morning, and his supporters, 62 MLAs and 3 cabinet ministers, including Sri Rajinder Singh Bajwa, Charanjit Singh Channi and Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa, have reached the Golden Temple complex. They will be paying obeisance at the Golden Temple complex, then they will be going to visit two prominent Hindu temples, one the Valmiki temple and then the Durgana temple. So today Navjot Singh Sidhu is seeking divine blessings by visiting three religious places which were very prominent among the supporters and the followers who have gathered here in large numbers. Now, slogans were being shouted in Sidhu's favor, and as far as the public apology demanded by Chief Minister Captain Amarinder Singh is concerned, Sidhu's camp has turned down the request, saying that if someone has to apologize, that is Chief Minister Captain Amarinder Singh, because he has failed to fulfill the call promises. And Navjot Singh Sidhu will not apologize. Remember, if Navjot Singh Sidhu tenders an apology, that will also go against him because he has raised some prominent issues, pertinent issues that can cause. These issues have put the party in an embarrassing situation, but these were the issues on the basis of which Navjot Singh Sidhu tried to establish himself and had raised these issues. That is why the party high command trusted him and elevated him to the post of Punjab Congress Committee Chief. So Navjot Singh Sidhu is in Amritsar. He has been meeting, he started his outreach program.
Manjeet, what about the apology, the public apology that Captain Amarinder Singh is expecting from Navjot Singh Sidhu, the now PCC chief in Punjab?
Well, Pooja, so far there is no word from Navjot Singh Sidhu. He has not spoken even a single word. But as far as Captain Amarinder Singh is concerned, he is mixed with Sidhu. Party High Command has once again asked Sidhu to tender a public apology for his tweets which were derogatory in nature. Navjot Singh Sidhu, the Chief Minister, has questioned the working of his government and has accused that he was colluding with the Badals on various issues. These were the serious allegations against the Chief Minister. That is why Chief Minister now wants Sidhu to tender a public apology. So far Sidhu's camp has said that he will not tender any apology. But Navjot Singh Sidhu is also silent. He has not spoken about the demand. But Captain Amarinder Singh is adamant and has said that he will only meet Sidhu if he apologizes.
Yes. Manjeet, I understand that you must be in the midst of action and there are these hundreds of supporters, a show of strength for Navjot Singh Sidhu. This is a moment of glory for him, but also perhaps moment to seek further blessings because his test really has started just now ahead of elections. Can he be the individual to bring party back into Punjab, despite the captain saying that the party and the state will suffer if Sidhu is made the PCC chief? Can you also tell us now, Manjeet, what is his itinerary for the day? Till when will he be in Amritsar? What is he planning to do after? Are we expecting a press briefing from this very popular Neta of the Punjab Congress? Manjeet, can you hear me?
Yes, Pooja, please, can you please repeat your question?
What are we expecting today from Sidhu after this visit? Where is he heading to? Are we expecting a press briefing? Because what I see right now is this very confident Neta. He has got what he wanted. He clearly will have a test now ahead of him to ensure that Congress returns to Punjab. Are we expecting him to be meeting more MLAs, more Netas, more people from his constituency in Amritsar?
Well, Pooja, he met 62 party MLAs. Meeting last for 2 to 3 hours. Navjot Singh Sidhu has many engagements today. Besides staying patient at the temples, he will be meeting the people from his constituency, and he can also address a press conference. Earlier, he was scheduled to address a press conference at 11 o'clock, but that has been deferred now as the meeting lasted for 3 hours at least. And now, after paying obeisance at the Golden Temple complex, he will visit other temples, and then he will be meeting various other leaders from various parts. Remember, his supporters have not only come from Amritsar and around, but also from various other parts, including Ludhiana and nearby districts. So Navjot Singh Sidhu is continuing.
And Manjeet, briefly, what I see on the screen, I can't help but notice almost nobody wearing a mask. This is the COVID pandemic still on, barely 1 or 2 people. Do you see people around you, anyone following COVID protocols there at the Golden Temple?
Well, as far as the COVID protocols are concerned, they are being flouted to the wind, and most of the people are not wearing masks. There is no security here who is stopping people from violating the COVID norms. They are openly being flouted here. But besides this, there is also no social distancing. There is a crowd.
Okay.
Nearly 1,000 people are accompanying Navjot Singh Sidhu at the moment, and none of them are wearing masks. Only a few media people are following these social norms.
Yes.
They are wearing masks, but the general people, the devotees are not wearing masks inside.
Manjeet, you also take care of yourself. Manjeet Sehgal is at the Golden Temple getting us these visuals, and just look at that sea of supporters of Navjot Singh Sidhu, now the Pradesh Congress Committee chief in Punjab, but still at rift with the Chief Minister, Captain